you're embarking on a journey, there are some key questions you need to answer before you leave, before you start. How about, where are we going? What's our destination? How are we going to get there? Right? Is this an airplane trip? Is this a car ride, a boat? What is it? And how long is it going to take? Are we there yet? If it's a 10-hour trip, you better make sure you've got 10 hours worth of snacks along, especially if I'm coming. Or if you're going to be gone for a week, I hope you bring more than one change of clothes. Kids, teens, remember that when we get ready to go to camp this summer. These are some important questions that you've got to ask before you start your trip. The season of Lent is a journey as well. It's a type of journey. And even though I'm not planning on getting on an airplane or taking a long car trip over the next 40 days, I do want to prepare myself for this journey with Jesus. And I want to invite you to do that as well, which means having some key questions in mind, even as we start this journey, right? Sometimes during Lent, we jump right to the question of, what am I going to give up? What needs to stop? And that's a fine question to ask. That's a fine practice to have. It can be really helpful. But even more fundamental than asking, what am I going to stop, is, again, where are we going? Where are we going? And in Lent, we're going to the cross. We are journeying towards Good Friday and eventually Resurrection Sunday. We've got to hold on to that. That's where we're going. We can't lose sight of that. Now, what are we taking with us? Well, for us here at Lifestream Church, we're taking the Gospel of Mark along with us as our guidebook for this journey, this Lenten season. And so I invite you to read through the Gospel of Mark with me. Maybe listen to it, but allow the stories within the Gospel of Mark to shape and transform you. And then join us on Sundays here at Lifestream for messages from the Gospel. I found that this Gospel, the Gospel of Mark in particular, really forces us to answer another important question for our journey. And that's the question of, who is Jesus? Who is Jesus? Who is he really? As you're reading through the stories in Mark, people keep asking that question in various ways throughout the gospel. Most of them get it wrong. And so we need to learn from their mistakes. Because really, this is the most important question there is for our lives. Who is Jesus? Who is he to you? Who is he to me? And how are we to follow him? Thankfully, Mark, right at the beginning, knew that it was important to answer these key questions from the start, before you start your journey, because he gives us a bit of a cheat sheet. In the very first verse, Mark 1:1, the very first verse of his gospel, he writes this. He says it's the beginning of the good news of Jesus, the Messiah, right? The Christ, the Son of God. So who is Jesus? Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is the Son of God. And Mark wants us to know that right at the beginning of our journey through his gospel. So I invite you to hold these titles together: Messiah, Christ, Son of God. And then join us on this journey as we discover and rediscover more and more about who Jesus is. I hope to see you on Sunday for our first message in the series, and be on the lookout for other ways to get connected during this Lenten season. God bless.